Hey, how's it going? I thought if you had a little spare time, you might like to join me today as I drive around the Northern Ontario backroads and philosophize about horses, authenticity, safe spaces to learn, and nervous systems and all those good things that I love to talk about. And you can stick around and find out how you can join me for coaching, for some classic Paige voice bombs that you can access 24/7 in asynchronous coaching in your pocket. So stick around. Love you guys. Peace out. If you're an adult amateur horse lover who wonders what it takes to make magic with horses, you're in the right place. I'm Paige Lockton, and this is the magic of horsecraft. Join me for conversations with wizards in the world of horsecraft about the ingredients needed to build connection with horses and courage in life. Turns out these things are connected. How do I know? Like most things, I learned the hard way. I lost the magic I once had with horses. In regaining it, I discovered that the elements of connection are learnable. Whether you ride your horses forwards, backwards, or sideways, stick around for stories that show us how we are the same and that anything is possible. Take a chance. I'm driving down the back roads of Northern Ontario in a little bit of unexpected free time, which is my favorite kind of free time. My friend Carly, who I also mentor and teach, and I met when she was just, I think, 21 and just out of equestrian college at Kempville, has a horse in Rutherglen, one of my favorite places in the universe. And she keeps a horse at a beautiful little facility, family run. I think they call it Rosehaven. And I'm going, or I thought I was going there to teach her this morning, but her horse has come up unexpectedly very sore in the back, and maybe has done something overnight, like a slip and fall or something like that. So I had the choice to turn around and go home and work, which for me is writing, which I know is not supposed to be work, but I'm always behind in writing. There's always more that I can write about than I can write about. And I don't always deal with that well. I am a workaholic in recovery. And so I had the chance to choose what I was going to do, and I chose to keep driving out towards Rutherglen, down the back roads, and to visit my friend and meet this horse that she has sort of temporarily in her care until she finds her life partner. But it's one she's putting a lot of care and love and attention into, and I haven't met it yet. And my intention was to record the session and set up some video cameras and audio, and to start really at the beginning honing in on the breath. And I was practicing and kind of thinking that through in my mind as I meditated this morning and as I was driving here, what that looked like and felt like. And I was kind of disappointed that I won't be able to video Carly and her horse doing this morning. But then I started doing it in my car, because you can do these sort of breathing exercises anywhere. I'm just trying to get people to do them in rhythm with the horse's natural gaits and breathe really consciously and count while they're riding and get themselves into the zone so they can access their instincts and their timing and be fluid and supple. And so I thought, well, just working out this sort of thing in my head where I was breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in my head, counting as though it was the rhythm of the horse's walk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Counting like music. And then I started to think about how I used to always sing and hum when I rode and was around horses, and how this all used to be so natural for me, and the irony of me wanting nothing more in the world than to teach particularly young people or struggling adult amateurs who are really kind of frustrated and stuck and mechanical, to teach them how to access this place of inner calm and connection with a horse that requires you to be 100% relaxed in your body in the moment and authentic. And wasn't that just the hardest thing for me to do now in my own barn? And isn't that an irony? Well, they say the best teachers are not necessarily the ones for whom this comes naturally, and it used to come naturally, and I wasn't a good teacher of it, and I used to feel the frustration in some of my adult amateur horse lovers lessons. And it was like I was two people, because I was so comfortable in my own skin around the horses and on their backs and working around them, but I wasn't necessarily out in public where I was guarded and wore a mask and a big smile and a big laugh that often hid a really dysregulated nervous system. And now don't I carry that into the barn as well? And part of that is having created a safe enough space there to be authentic without judgment. And as a new green leader, transforming from people pleaser who's not yet 100% comfortable all the time in her own skin and her own authenticity, it's really hard for me to have clients and boarders and other people coming and going in my backyard, because who I am when I'm alone in the aisleway with my animals is pretty fucking goofy. And she's usually singing and dancing and humming or whistling something really repetitive, which slips me into a nervous system state and a flow that, in a state of fun with the animals. And so I don't want to get caught doing that and having somebody walk in and catch me dancing with their horses and singing to them. Or whistling the same tune over and over and over again like I was this morning. And that's too bad. I have to create either a space where I know when I'm going to get my free time and be able to have that uninterrupted, or be that comfortable around my people that they can walk in on me singing and dancing and being terribly, terribly goofy and trying new ways to train horses at liberty and failing and getting back in attack and not having perfect posture or balance and being able to make mistakes in front of the people in my own backyard. And I'll know I can do that when I create a space where none of us, as we step through the threshold, are allowed to criticize the way another person handles anything. And a place where we can only assume and be brought back to, well, I'm going to assume that anybody who crosses this threshold and that I'm interacting with in the world is doing the best they can in that moment, even if it's not good enough, even if there's a flaw in their posture, their method, their thinking, their makeup, their ankles, their hair, training method, whether they're body aware or not and are blocking access to something or unaware that they are, or they, whatever. We're just going to assume that that's the best they can do right now, and that they would do better if they knew how and they had what they needed, whatever that could be. And that mostly everybody that we interact with wants to do better, and not allow a single criticism to go by unshushed, with love. And then we know we're in a safe place to learn. So if there is an observation about, I wonder if you might consider doing something differently, it's done from a place of love and compassion, and maybe just with a question and a curiosity and the invitation. I am looking to expand my herd with caution. I mean, you can hear that in my voice, can't you? That's why the barn's not full. With caution. And the person that comes in next will be open to coaching. That's why they'll be there. They'll want to know, well, how could I have done that differently? And they'll trust that if I say, well, you know, if you try this, or with more addressing this first and coming forward out of that, blah, 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 it'll get better. They'll go, oh, thank you. They'll look for the guidance. They'll be able to see me lose my balance and struggle and not go home and tell people about it. I'll be able to let them film me new things and trust that it won't get hacked and sliced and diced on the internet or in the back of their mind. And similarly, they'll be able to come and make mistakes, and we'll be able to work through it, and we will value each other's time and space and opinion, and hopefully be able to dance up and down in the aisle to our own music in the barn with our horses, and catch one another in the act of doing that and not be embarrassed. So if you're out there, join me. The other thing I want to throw out there is something I have been trying, and it is leaving voice bombs and messages like this at my convenience on WhatsApp for you when you call and go, Paige, you know, I've been hacking down the road and there have been these dogs barking at me and my horse does this, or, you know, I haven't been able to catch my horse, or whatever the issue is. How might I? And I can leave a voice bomb for you and go, oh, you know, before you try that, you might want to make sure this is solid, and I can blah, 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 with a heart full of ideas and at my convenience for you to listen to at your convenience. And we can go back and forth on WhatsApp as a coaching tool. You can also set up Pivo and do some live stuff. And it's turning into a really fun way for me to interact with people. So if you're interested in that, let me know. And I'll let you know how my journey's going. One of the things about singing and dancing I wanted to leave you with as a little tip. There's a reason why growing up I seemed to be able to work the magic, and yeah, the magic is real and magic is science, and there's science behind what I used to do. Was because in the barn I was comfortable. I was usually alone with my ponies and horses. I was comfortable being 100% Paige, and that's a lot. 100% Paige is kind of out there. And I hummed and I sang, and that put my nervous system into a state of flow. And I did things in repetitive fluid motions as I hummed and sang, so the horses were really confident because they could predict my movements and actions, and they could read me. And so I'm going to leave you with some thoughts about that, and imagine how working with me might look. I'm going to try to catch some examples of that when my friends' horses aren't throwing something out by cavorting around in the fields or doing whatever they've done. And leave you with some ideas that, yes, breathwork is important, and it's not woo-woo, and it is science, and that's what I love to talk about and teach. I'm about to organize the clinic I'm so far in my life been the most excited about ever. I keep reaching new heights of that. So far, and that's with my friend Lauren Hambling, who I've known peripherally for years as a friend's mentor. And when I first knew her in earlier iterations of myself, I kind of thought she was pretty out there and woo-woo, and that woo-woo was a bad thing. It was part of my amazing friend Carrie's personality too, to be woo-woo. Lauren was Carrie's mentor and Angie's. And something I kind of didn't get on one level, but on the other did. Do you know, it was ridiculed by the powerful, intelligent people around me that I gave my power away to for most of my life. And now, so it took me learning the science behind what they already knew and practiced, to go, see, doing this is important, and I'm going to set aside time to do it, and I'm not going to be embarrassed if you catch me doing it. I'm going to breathe with this monitor on until it goes green, because scientifically there is evidence of all kinds of things that are going to get better in my life if I do that. My stress levels, my health outcomes, my relationships, my intelligence, my ability to access information and store it, how I feel in my body, my instincts, my everything is going to get better if I do those things. It's measurable, it's science. So there. And when that wasn't even accepted, I was brave enough then to go, well, then I'm going to do it anyway, and I don't care what you think. You go on caring what you think. So I'm just in the evolution part where I still care a little bit about what people think, and so far I've not been able to be 100% authentic around all the adults in my backyard and my barn. I am aiming for that by creating safe spaces. I'm also aiming for it by creating safe spaces in my clinics. So my clinics will be, there'll be no sniding in the background with a bunch of auditors around. There will be 6 people working together on a very intimate level, in an environment where we can be 100% authentic. And I'm going to do it with kids and adults, and I'm going to teach them the science behind why this is important and the science behind nervous system regulation. I'm going to teach them that in a fun way. And I'm going to do it so that they can, A, regulate themselves and co-regulate their horses and calm them and create a sense of trust and safety. And B, so they can recognize with the thousands of training methods out there, and you know, whether it's Clinton Anderson or TRT or Warwick Schiller's air quotes methods, although I don't think Warwick claims to use methods, he just uses principles. And I'm not criticizing any of those, but whoever's methods that you're buying, when you're buying someone's methods out there, you can look behind them and understand what state the horse's nervous system is in, and choose when and whether or not to use those methods, being trauma informed. And then I feel really confident about you as a horse steward. And so what I teach is what horses need, the evolution of horsecraft, the evolution that I am currently making, and want to give out the other side, people that can think their way through and feel their way through, and access some of that magic that I know is so painful when you're missing it, because yeah, I've been missing it too. So I'm almost at my friend Carly's, and that's probably all the time you have too. So let's go play with horses and be, yeah, I know that word is overused, but just be yourself, authentic. Yeah, my friend Brenda told me not to use that word anymore. It's overused trope. So just go have fun. Whatever that looks like for you with your horse. And as you're doing it, if it's fun for you, stop for a moment and ask yourself, is it fun for them? Peace out. Hey, you're still here. Thanks so much for listening. What you think and feel matters. If this resonated with you, please like and share. It truly makes a difference. I encourage you to engage with the content on my Substack account and my socials, all at The Magic of Horsecraft, where you can join the discussion and shape the future shows. Tell me what you want to hear more of or less of, and we'll evolve together as we grow a community of like-minded souls here for the good of the horse. If you're an adult amateur horse lover looking for confidence and clarity in your role of equine steward, check out my course, From Amateur to Magician, Making Magic with Horses, at themagicofhorsecraft.com. Until then, I'm here to remind you of a couple things. One, underneath it all, we all want the same things: to be heard, understood, and accepted for who we are. And two, anything is possible. Take a chance.